Using the built-in documentation features ensures that we will create systems that can be easily understood, worked on, and maintained by others. Consider this program here. We see some output is going to turn on when input 1 and input 103, the first module after the PLC, is active, and whatever this is not active. And this is a typical type of seal-in that will keep this on, and this seems to be another alternative. But then when this happens, this turns on C1, and all of a sudden it's not so clear. By using nicknames, we can now say, oh, when people hit the start cycle button, when the retract limit switch is active, but we are not retracting, then the cylinder will extend. What will retract it? Well, when the extend limit switch, that'll cause that. Now, is the extend limit switch active, or the start cycle when we push it or let go? That becomes another one that we can now see that we've added a address comment commenting about what does address X1 or 205. And here we see this output to the cylinder solenoid, the valve. It's a two-position spring return. On is what extends it. Anytime you turn it off, the cylinder will retract. That's what the spring does. Same way, the normally open push button on is when it's depressed. When you let go of it, it's released and off. So having clear functions really help understand this program. We see the repeat cycle was left to be obvious, maybe it is, but the rules that make it engage are clear. One last comment we can do, and this is excellent, is to say, why is this rung here? Don't explain the logic, just say what it will do. It will extend and retract with no need to press a retract button. And this retracts the cylinder. That's the purpose of rung 2. Rung 3 is to make it repeat the cycle. So when using documentation, it makes it easy. To access the documentation tools, there's two things. For addresses, you simply go to the address picker or type Control-T. When that comes up, you're presented with a place to put in the nickname, and you can pull this wider, just like an Excel thing, in this wider. Then outputs such as Y200s, we see the cylinder solenoid, or whatever bits happen to be being used. So that documentation is simply easy to do, and we'll have exercises working on that. But that's really key. Now in a rung, you simply right-click and say you want to edit the rung comment, and here an editor comes up. You can assign color, bold, and some basic functions. So that's the purpose of documentation, to make it easy for someone to troubleshoot and see why this is not turning on. Normally, all troubleshooters work from here back. If this isn't on, one of these are the suspect that caused it. So we'll use this in upcoming programs to document and clearly understand, because when we look at this, it's not so obvious without that documentation.